a little bug here. We're gonna be making it look just like Herbie. As you can see, we already got the body pretty much in good shape. A lot of that took a lot of time to do, but the body's all good in shape. Now we just gotta take care of like the motor and everything else. So all we have to do now is rebuild the motor, all the suspension. That's gonna be fun. But luckily for this one, it's kind of easy to do. We won't have to worry about it so much, at least. Alright, so what we got pretty much is everything's pretty much damaged to the point that why scan it, we'll just tear it apart and rebuild it. That is the plan as of right now. It shouldn't take too long to rebuild it, but the only part that's going to take forever is rebuilding that motor, because that's a pain. But we'll get all the suspension rebuilt. We're basically going to build the suspension around the car. I know it's kind of weird, and that's just kind of how I think we're going to do it. Just do the motor last on this one, because we'll take it all apart, rebuild what we can, but other than that, I don't think it's going to be worth rebuilding it. Then rebuild the suspension. I think we got to build the suspension first, then we'll put the motor in once we get that rebuilt. It's not going to take us too long to rebuild the motor, I wouldn't say. But once it gets rebuilt, it'll be put right in there, be ready to go. It's going to take forever for us to probably do it, but you never know. I'm not so used to having the fuel tank up front, but that's what they did on these ones. Like, I don't know. But the suspension's gonna be pretty easy to pull apart, at least on both of them. Both the back and the front will be pretty easy. The only thing is the motor's in the back. Kind of a little bit different of a setup. I've never personally worked on one like this, but that's, you know, not my opinion. My opinion, the whole thing is weird. But we'll get it done, rebuilt. After this, we gotta tear down the whole entire motor, because I think that motor's probably got some oil or something in it. Maybe not, but it looked pretty complete, so shouldn't take us too long to tear it down. Because if we can repair the oil pan and all the other stuff, then that just saved us a lot of time and money. I don't know if it will work, but you never know. Alright, so this will be the last part besides the motor we pulled out and the front cross member, but both of those will come right out. Then it'll be time to take the whole motor apart. I can't recall ever working on one of these, like in this game, at all. This will be my first time. So, hopefully I'm probably gonna forget a lot of parts, but it should be pretty easy, it looked like. Doesn't look too bad, but it just looks kinda weird because I'm used to doing like bigger motors than this one, so hopefully we can get it apart, not, you know, mess up anything, and get it back together. Alright, so we got it mostly tore apart. Motor will be apart in a few minutes. Shouldn't take us that much longer than once that's tore apart. Repair bench. Hopefully we can repair everything and not spend a lot for this vehicle's like motor, unlike last time, because that was a lot of money last time. But you know, I think we can repair most of it though. Performance everything like we do on every vehicle, because why not? We'll make it the fastest little car that it can. And it'll look pretty good once it gets all done though. But yeah, it's I think we're gonna go with suspension first, then motor, because if we go the other way around, like this motor is just kind of a little trickier for me, just because it's a little bit smaller and there's like more parts. So I'll do this one last. If it was like one of the regular engines that are redone, you know, multiple times, you know, the bigger ones, then I would be okay, but this one, nah, I've never really worked on them so much. So what we're gonna do, work on this last. This will be the last thing we do. Suspension, get all that done, get wheels on it, get it all ready, drop to the ground, and rebuild the motor, put that in. It'll look really good once the motor gets in, then off to the paint shop, and then right to the dyno, and then away we go. Alright, so let's see here. We got a lot of it repaired. We just gotta get a lot. Hopefully we can get the engine block out of this. Hopefully we can get, you know, a lot of the covers and everything. Because if we can get all those, then we're pretty much set. Like, we'll be pretty good in an okay spot. Other than that, I have no idea what we're gonna do. Like, I don't know what suspension wise we're gonna get. I don't know anything else. Hopefully we get all of it, but never can tell. But we got a lot of it repaired. A few things here and there that didn't cost much, but you know, that's fine. But the much that we got repaired, now we gotta put it all back together. Hopefully we can get it all back together in time. Alright, so we got it all pretty much going back together pretty good. Suspension, well, that's the easy part usually. But all the front suspension will be put in very, very shortly. And then we'll rebuild the motor and get that ready to be thrown in. Shouldn't take too long. I wouldn't think to rebuild that motor. I mean, it's kind of small. I've never really done one that small. Like, I don't understand anything about this motor. It's completely different to anything I've ever worked on. Because usually, like, it's the V8s, the older V8 with the carburetor. Like, I've usually worked on those. I've never really worked on anything like that. Oh well, but we'll get it rebuilt. It'll be ready to go here. So once that's ready to go in, be all buttoned up, then pretty much all we gotta do is put oil in it, put some gas in it, roll it into the paint shop, get all the paint nice and good. Then after that, we're going to have to go to the dyno. Then after that, then we go to the test track and really put it through its paces. Alright, so we got most of the suspension complete. Now we just gotta rebuild this motor. Shouldn't take us that long. It's going pretty well. I mean, it's just gonna take me a minute because it's a little bit smaller than what I'm used to. But once I figure, you know, what we're gonna need and all that, it won't take us too long. We'll be rebuilt and we're ready to go. But, you know, it's just, I wanted to get it all done. I think we're gonna get this motor done, no problem. I haven't missed a single part yet. But it has an oil pan on it at least. So we're getting somewhere at least, right? So once we get all, like I say, once we get like the oil pan, pretty much, you know, once we get all that on, once we get pretty much everything else on, it's pretty much a complete motor. Then it's just ready to go back in. Once it's fully complete, then we'll put oil in it once we get it in. So so it's not too heavy when we're trying to lift it back in, but other than that, it's gonna go pretty good. Most of the motor is now rebuilt, and we got it all done. So now all we gotta do is drop it and back in, and then after that we can move on to the interior. But, you know, that's not too bad. The only thing I got left to do, honestly, on the body is to put some plates on it. Then after that, after we get the plates and all that on, then we're good to go right to the paint shop, right to the dyno, right to the test drive. I mean, we got it together real quick. I didn't think we were gonna get it together that fast, but we were honestly able to get it together that fast. And I'm liking it. The motor doesn't look too bad, but I just put performance parts where I could. So I thought that would be pretty good. It needs to have a little bit more speed. Alright, so now we're just gonna save the game real quick. Other than that, the car's pretty much together now. The only thing left to do, I mean, there's a few odds and ends that I may have forgot for the body, but other than that, it's pretty much together. I just need to get license plates, I think. It's the only big thing. Other than that, I have no idea. Once we get the license plates, then we're gonna go right to the paint shop. Then after that, dyno, then right out to the abandoned airfield. That's where we're gonna go for this one to do the test drive. Because it's wide and open, maybe we can get it to drift. Not exactly sure. Alright, so we got the exhaust installed. Another thing I forgot was the transmission. To re-hook that back up fully, and the starter and the exhaust. But with that being the only thing I missed, I mean, it's completely in there. We got the plates on it now. The only thing we got left to do is put some interior parts in. Put a complete interior in it, paint shop, all that. Because we're gonna go right to the paint shop right after I get this interior in. There's no, you know, waiting on it, because I want to make sure everything looks good. Then we're gonna go to the dyno it. Hopefully go driving it pretty soon. Alright, so now we're in the paint shop. The only thing I forgot was the front windshield and stuff like that to reinstall, but got that all out of the way. It's looking good. We got the interior back in, so everything's ready to go. After this, we'll be going to the dyno, then to the track. And once we get to the track, then we'll sell it and see how much profit we can make. Hope we can make a lot. It sure cost me a lot to redo that whole motor though. Alright. Alright, let's see how far we can get this thing to go here. I'm hoping that we can get it over 100 miles an hour, but that'd be my main goal, but I don't think we can beat that. Well, I guess we can. It just, the speedometer doesn't work like it's supposed to. I think we broke it. All it does is sit there and spin like the old ones used to. Hopefully we don't break the cable, but other than that, we should be fine. I hope anyway. All we got left to do is sell it after this, but I'm gonna try to do some drifting. Wish me luck. Alright, well, I'll try my best at drifting. They work out too well. Can't say that, you know, I blame it, but I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoy and have a good day. I'll see you on the next one.